Let's start. Now we are going to discuss questions on chemical bonding. So let's see the first question, that is arrange the following order, increasing order of the dipole moment. Now you know, in dipole moments case, what we have here, that is electronegativity, that is dipole moment is directly proportional to our electronegativity. So you can see O is more electronegative than S. So I'm going to write that O is more electronegative than S. So the dipole moment order will be H2O greater than H2S. Now this token we can decide on our own according to this property. But in case of BF3, we have to know its value. Okay. So in practical experiment, we have seen that the value of BF3 is less than these two. So it will be like this. Okay. So it's kind of tricky question. So let's see the next question. That is the correct order of bond length of CO, CO2 and CO3 minus. So as you guys know that this bond length is inversely proportional to our S character. So we just have to conclude this molecule's S character and the bond length will come eventually. Okay. So let's see. For CO, what will be the steric number? Because from steric number we can conclude its hybridization, and from hybridization we can conclude its S character. Okay. So for steric number, let's see for CO, that is our 1 plus half into 6 minus 2, that is what? 1 plus 2, that means it has 2 lone pairs. So but its total number is 3, so it will be our sp2, right? So let's see for CO2, what will be the steric number? It will be 2 plus half into 6 minus 4, so that will be 2 plus 1 here, right? It's also our sp2, right? It is because it is 2 plus 1, so these both are sp2. Now here comes the number of lone pairs formula, that is in if the S character is same in both cases, so we will just see the number of lone pairs it has in the surrounding atoms. So in case of lone pair, you can see that on the central atom, okay, it has lone pair 2, that is our CO, but this CO2 has lone pair 1, that is you can see here from the steric number. So when it has less number of lone pairs, so its bond length will also be more. So CO2 is greater than CO, but what will be the steric number of, what will be the steric number of CO3 minus 2? That is our 3 plus half into 6 minus 6, because 3 into minus 2 minus 6, that is also minus 2, but it will be plus according to steric number formula. If you just don't know the steric number formula, just see the video of chemical bonding, there you can find the formula of steric number. Okay. So from here we will get 3 plus 1. That means it is sp3, right? Now we are concluding this also from the steric number. You will also get that in the chemical bonding video. So it's sp3, right? So its S character is also less from these both. So its bond length will be more, right? You can see that here. So it's the order of the 3 according to bond length. Now let's see the third question. So in third question, what we can see that in a diatomic molecule, okay, the bond distance is this 1 into 10 to the power minus 8 centimeter. Dipole moment is given this. What is the fractional electronic charge on each atom? So let's see. That is, we have to know a formula here, that is partial charge is equal to dipole moment. I am writing is dm by bond distance, okay, because we know dipole moment equal to partial charge into intermolecular distance or bond distance. So 1.2 by into 10 to the power minus 18 by 1 into 10 to the power minus 8. So it will be 1.2 into 10 to the power minus 8 ESE, okay, partial charge. So from here, what will be the fractional charge? Because we know that to go for the fractional charge, we just have to divide it by 4.8, okay, 10 to the power minus 8. So what will be it? It's 4 here. So 1 by 4 is 0.25. So it will be a fractional charge. So the third question is also in that. Let's see for the fourth question. In fourth question, they have given you the correct sequence of bond length in single bond, double bond, and triple bond. So here we know one formula, that is bond order is inversely proportional to our bond length, right? So value for carbon is like this. Now we can understand it another way, that is it has 3 bonds here. So these 2C will attract to each other to more. So it's eventually its bond length will be less. So if you don't confuse, it's bond order series. Now it has double bond, so it will attract more less than this, and here it has one bond, so it attraction is negligible. So in case of bond length, where is attraction is negligible, so its bond length is naturally more, right? So bond length order will be like this, okay, you guys understood? Now let's see for the fifth question. Now in fifth question, they said that which of the following shapes of SF4 is most stable and why? Now we know according to our Benz rule. So I'm not gonna say Benz rule here because I have told it in the video of chemical bonding. You have to see that video, then you can understand what I am saying here. So according to Benz rule, we can easily say that this is the most stable, because the more electronegative element should be in axial position, but that we can't write in the cause in exam if they ask you that. So what will be the cause here? That is due to two lone pair bond pair repulsions, okay. So let's see the sixth question here, that is how many sigma and pi bonds are present in toluene. So to answer that, we have to draw a figure of toluene. So let's draw it. And here it is like this: H, 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 and here is also this. So here it is also H, 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 and H. Now we know that for double bond one pi bond is present, and for one sigma bond is present, and for single bond, that is one sigma bond is present. So let's write it: sigma, 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 sigma. And here now also a sigma, 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 and sigma, sigma, and here 1 pi, 1 pi, 1 pi. Now if we calculate this, so there will be 15 sigma and 3 pi bonds. So that will be our answer. So let's see the seventh question. Now they have said which of the following in the most stable state when atoms come closer to each other and form a molecule. Now in the chemical bonding video, I have already told you what these bonds are called. Okay, so now I'm not going to tell you that here, but from the diagram you can just see that they are in the first case they are overlapping each other here, right? And here they are not overlapping, and here they are distant from each other. So what is the most stable molecule, so that the atom is being like this? So you can see that it is not stable, that's why the atoms are far from each other. And here it's comparably stable, so that they are just touching or merging like this, but here they have overlapped. Okay, so here it is the most stable here. And if you want to just learn it more, then see our chemical bonding video. You will learn it there very precisely, because I have told there that what is these bonds are called. So here answer will be our first. So let's see the eighth question. So they said what is the hybrid state of carbon in ethine, graphite, and diamond. Now this is an objective type of question. Okay, so you have to remember it. In ethine, the shape of ethine is HC triple bond CH, so it will be our sp, right? In graphite, it's our sp2. I have already told you that it is objective type. In diamond, it is sp3. So that's the answer of our eighth question. And see the ninth question. Now they have asked you what is the bond order of correct order. So let's see for N2 plus. We know its bond order is 6 minus 0 is for N2, right? But what is for N2 plus? So from here we just have to remove one electron, so it will be half into 5 minus 0, so that will be 2.5. So from this we can conclude the bond order. From here you can see it for our N2 bond order will be 3. Now for N2 minus, it will be half into 6 minus 1, so it will be our 5, that is 2.5. Now you are all thinking that N2 into my N2 plus into minus, how this value is we can conclude without drawing the molecular orbital theory. So it is also explained in the our chemical bonding video. A short trick is said there, so you must have to watch that video or you can understand anything. Okay, for now you can see that it has also same value, it has also same value. So what are I gonna do here, that is we have to see in whose molecular orbital, antibonding molecular orbital, we have one electron, so that will be unstable, so its bond order will be less, so it will be for our N2 minus, because it has a electron in antibonding molecular orbital, so its energy will be more, so it will be less stable. So we'll write it like this: N2 bond order series, N2 greater than N2 plus greater than N2 minus, right? Let's see the 10th question here. Here in the 10th question, we have the correct electronic configuration for C2 molecule. Okay. Now for that, we have to write its electronic configuration for one C atom, that is 1s2, 2s2 and 2p2. So we are having another C atom here, so 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. That's how we're gonna write it. So let's draw the molecular orbital here. That is like this. It's 1s, sigma star 1s, and it's sigma 1s. So let's draw the 2s here. 2s, 2s, sigma star 2s, sigma 2s. Now here, that is like this. Okay. Here also we'll write this. So it will be our sigma star 2pz, pi star 2px, pi star 2py. Okay, and it will be sigma 2pz, pi 2px, pi 2py, and we will write 3 orbitals here like this. So let's fill them with electrons. It is 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, because they are all fulfilled. You can see 2 2 2 2, but here it has 2 electrons, here it is also has 2 electrons. So you can see in the molecular orbital, to pi 2px and pi 2py will be filled first, so it is filled first, so there are no excess electrons here. So I'm just gonna write electron configuration from here. That is 1 sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2, sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2, then our pi 2px2 equal to pi 2py2. That will be our electronic configuration for carbon. Let's see the 11th question, that is interatomic distances between H2 and Cl2 molecules are 74 and 198. So it will be the bond length of HCl. Now in chemical bonding, I have already told you that what is the formula of, so let's write it here. That is intermolecular distance by 2. Okay, so just write it 74 plus 198 by 2. So what will be it? If we calculate, it will be 136. So your 11th question is also done. Now let's see 12th question. Now they have told you the smallest intermolecular distance is found in whose. So on chemical bonding video, we know is like this: O2 2 plus greater than O2 plus greater than O2, greater than O2 minus, greater than O2 2 minus. So bond length is inversely proportional to bond order. We have known it. So what will be the minimum bond length here? O2 plus in the given question, because there is no O2 2 plus in the given question, but O2 plus is there. So this bond order is maximum, so bond length will be minimum. So minimum bond length here will be of O2 plus. Now for the 13th question, that is in AgCN2 number of pi bonds. Now we have to know the structure of CN for this. So you can see there is one sigma bond and two pi bonds here. So we have two CN here. So it will be the number of pi bonds. That will be 2 into 2. It is 4. So number of pi bonds is 4. Let's see the 14th question. So that is, they said that d pi p pi bonding is present in which of these three. So you have to see in any question given like this, that in which of these given molecules there is the molecule in the second period. Okay, group will can be same, but you have to see which is in the second period. So because in the first period there is no existence of this d orbital. Okay, but from the second periodic table there is existence of this d orbital. It can be vacant, it can be filled, that doesn't matter, but there is existence of that. It practically derived. So we have to see if there is any molecule that is, or atom that is of second period. So you can see here there is a molecule of second period, and all the other two are from the first period. So here our option 3 will be correct. That is PO4 3 minus. We will have d pi p pi bonding present. Now let's see. It's the 15th question. In 15th question, they have said that which of the molecules is the isostructure. It means they have the same shape. So let's see. In case of 1, we can see the steric number, that is 3 plus 7 minus 3, that is our 4. So it will be 3 plus 2. So it will have 2 lone pairs here. So it will have bent T shape, right? If you can understand it, just see the chemical bonding video, that is all explained. And for SF4, this see, it is steric number will be 4 plus half into 6 minus 4, right? So it will be 4 plus 1. So it will be what shape? That is our seesaw. So their hybridization is same, that is sp3d, but their shape is not same. So this option 1 is discarded then. Now let's see for the option 2, that is IF2 minus and ZEF2. Now for IF2, what we can write here, that is 2 plus half into, I has 7 electrons we know, then it's minus 2 plus 1, because it has minus here. So it's present. Even you just have to know the steric number formula. I'm not gonna explain it here because I already did in the chemical bonding video. You just have to see it. Then it will be 6. So it will be 2 plus 3. So its shape will be linear. Okay. Now for ZeF2, what we can see, that is 2 plus half into 8 minus 2. That means it is also 2 plus 3. So its shape is also linear. So here we found in option 2, that is our IF2 minus IF2 and ZF2 are isostructure. Now from the removal technique, we don't have to do these two, because there is one option is correct in it. So if we got the second option correct, so we don't have to do the two other twos, but I am gonna show you nevertheless. Let's see for third and fourth also, but they are not will be isostructural, because we know that one option is correct in it. So of course the second option will be the one. Let's see for the third. It is NH3, that is 3 plus half into 5 minus 3. So it will be 3 plus 1, that is pyramidal structure. Now for H2O, what we will see, that is 2 plus half into 6 minus 2. So that will be 2 plus 2. So it will be V shape. So it's also not isostructural here, right? Now let's see it for option number 4, that is BeCl2. It is 2 plus half into 2 minus 2, right? So it will be 2 plus 0. So its shape will be linear. Now for BeCl3, it will be 3 plus half into 3 minus 3. So it will be 3 plus 0. So it will be trigonal planar. So it's also not isostructural. So our second option is correct. Let's see the 16th question. So they said, what is the how many number of lone pairs is present in ClF3? So that for that we have to know the steric number. So what will be that? That is 3 plus half into, that is 3 surrounding atoms, half into 7 minus 3 here, 4. So it will be 3 plus 2. So 2 is our number of lone pairs here. So answer will be 2. Let's see the 17th question. What they have said in the 17th question, that is arrange them according to the covalent character. So for this we have to know the charge. So here Na has plus 1 charge, BeCl2 has plus 2 charge, LCl3 has plus 3 charge. According to Pajan's rule, how do we know that if the charge its magnitude increases, its covalent character also increases. So it will be LCl3 greater than BeCl2 greater than NaCl. So let's see the 18th question. They said arrange them correctly according to their mu, that is dipole moment. Now dipole moment, we all know, I have written in the first question also, that is it is directly proportional to electronegativity. Now we know from the periodic table, that is it will be like this, Np S Sv, right? So down the group electronegativity decreases, right? The dipole moment will also decrease. So it will be the correct order, that is NH3 greater than PH3 greater than ASH3 greater than SvH3, right? So let's see the 19th question here, that is arrange them correctly according to their bond length. Now we will see that bond length is inversely proportional to bond angle. Okay, so first we have to know their bond angle. So we know that if the Electronegativity in the surrounding atom increases, the bond angle decreases. Okay, so the bond length is increased eventually. You'll understand better in the chemical bonding video. So what will be it? The bond length, it is NF3 greater than NCl3. Okay, because and then it will be NBr3, then it will be Ni3, right? But if it was bond angle, so the order will be reversed, because if the electronegativity in the surrounding atom increases, the bond angle decreases. Then for question number 20, what we can get here, that is what will be the mu value of F2. Now you have to know the formula for mu, that is mu equal to root over of n into n plus 2 Bohr magneton. Okay, so for F2 minus, for F, if we write its, or that is fluorine, write its electronic configuration, that will be 1s to 2s to 2p5, right? So here we have 2f is 1s to 2s to 2p5, but now we're not going to draw the molecular orbital of it, because you all have seen it in the chemical bonding video, that how without drawing we can just do it. So for F2, we're going to first do its bond order. So it will be 1/2 into 6 minus 4, because in p orbital we have 6 in the bonding and 4 anti-bonding electrons. So it will be 1, that is 2, 1. But in case of F2 minus, what the bond order will be? It will be 1/2 into 6 minus, it will be 5, right? Because you can see here that it has 5 anti-bonding. So from F2, you can see that in two of the anti-bond, in case of 3 p orbital, 3 number of p orbitals. So in 4, it will just go in 2 2, like means 2 electrons will be paired, 2 electrons will be paired. But in case of 1 electron is excess because of -1, so it will be excess of 1 electron. Okay, so it will be its mu. It will be n is the number of unpaired electrons. Okay, so it will be 1 into 1 plus 2 Bohr magneton. That is our root over of 3 Bohr magneton. Okay, so here our chemical bonding questions are done.
To learn difficult concept of physics, chemistry and biology within few minutes to crack NEET and JEE with fun, like, share and subscribe our new YouTube channel Shantu. You will get conceptual videos, highly effective notes, short tricks, mock tests and much more. Hope we shall meet there.